What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Rail. So in today's video, I'm gonna bring y'all this little mini scheme from the Singleback trio formation. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn those post notifications on. Now, before I do get into the video, I do ask if you find any value whatsoever in anything in this video that I say or do, just please go ahead and do me a favor and watch at least 30 seconds of any ad that you may see. Because if you didn't know, when you hit skip ad, I actually do not get paid for that, and I plan on becoming a full-timer, so I would greatly appreciate that. But also, another thing I want to get into is CFL. If you are interested in joining CFL for my PS4, please make sure you hit me up ASAP, as spots are kind of going by a little quickly, and I'm about to get started at in a minute. So be sure, we'll be on the lookout for more videos of CFL gameplays and everything. I did a poll, and y'all said that y'all like to see full gameplay, so I'm gonna kind of test that out and see how I like that. So anyway, let's go and dive into this video. So you see, we do have Singleback trio formation. So as far as personnel, what I like having my best route runner right here where Deshaun Jackson is. So normally your number one receiver is normally fine right here in this position, because we're going to be utilizing this a ton, especially if they play press man coverage, especially if they have purples. Now if they start doing things with purples and everything, this is why I like having my second best receiver right here where Marquise Goodwin is. And I like to actually alternate between these two, but I'll explain that here in a second. So as far as that, that's pretty much all. Now the plays that I'm going over, well, first, before I even get into that, I do want to make sure I say that, you know, just because I choose maybe like 2 or 3 plays to go over in the video, doesn't mean that none of the other plays in the formation are good. For example, what I mean is, in this video, I'm going over the two runs, halfback stretch, and I'm going over halfback dive. Now, if you personally like the zone weak, you know, then that's okay. And if you personally like the toss, then that's okay. And as far as passing plays, just for this video, I'm going over Smash Texas, and I'm going over PA boot. Now, drive wheel is a great play. That's a great play, but I actually broke this down for another sub. I did a whole ebook for him. So I included drive wheel, and I had also included, where is it at, right here, I also included slot chase. So those two are great plays. You can do a lot of concepts out of those, but just for YouTube's sake and just for time's sake, I only want to focus on, you know, some good run plays I like and 2 good passing plays I like. So I had to make sure I get that out there, because I know some of y'all in comments will tell me, hey, this play is good, why didn't you do this play? Hey, this play is great. It's just, you know, I don't want to make a 40-minute video going over all these plays, you know. So anyways, let's just start off with the run plays. So sorry that was kind of long, but let's dive into it right now. So I'm actually going to come out and stretch. And the reason I kind of like this stretch, sometimes that backside can get open, but it's not as good as the alert bubble. So let's go against something like 3-3-5 wide, which is what you'll normally get if you run this offense. So let's go against, let's just go cover 3 buzz. So what you're going to notice is we have this, you know, alert play. So I don't really like it that much, and I'm going to show you why I say that. So see how kind of it takes a little while, and you see how he's able to fight off the block. That actually happens in game. And as you know, normally when you run alerts versus curl flats, they actually do not play that. So that's why I don't like throwing it unless it's just literally wide open. So what do I mean, real? So let's say they're doing something like this. Maybe they're base aligning, and maybe they're taking, you know, maybe they have a defense where there's only one guy out there. So if you see something like this, then yeah, I'll take my chances with that. Boom, I'll throw that out there, and then even then maybe make somebody miss, because you know Madden's, you know, garbage in that aspect of trying to lock on the player. So then maybe you can get, you know, a few yards. So that's how the only way I would even throw that backside bubble route. So let's just talk about the run play. So this run, it's not as good, but it all depends on what kind of defense they get in. So the reason you can tell that it's not as good is because they actually do not do a good job of blocking this D tackle or this defensive end. Whoever's the outside man, they normally don't. Now you could play around and try double teaming and see if that'll help. Let's actually see if that double team. Nope. So you see how we try to double team and he still doesn't. But most of the times you can tell you can't actually run around him. Now let's go ahead and talk about the dive right here, and then we'll get in some gameplay with me showing you this run. So let's see, we got the dive, and I mean it's just honestly a simple dive, but it's all based on what defense they come out in. So the first play that I'm going to break down is going to be this Smash Texas play. And if you take a look at this play, you'll notice that we have this running back angle route, and we also have this corner route. Now, these 2 routes right here are going to get extremely glitchy. So what I love to do, I love to take triangle, well, hit triangle, take circle, and I love to smart route his route. So now you see how it's ran a lot deeper, so it's going to be ran at 10 yards. So me personally, this is how I love to set this up. Now you want to take triangle and put him on a streak from here, and honestly, I either A, like to run it just like this, or B, I'll take X and actually put him on a hitch route. Not a hitch, curl route. So let me go ahead and reset the play, and I'm going to show you what it looks like normal. So take circle, put him on a smart route. Take triangle, put him on a streak, and then I'm going to run it just like this, and I'm going to hop and replay and show you why I like this. Now, if they are not zone dropping, what you're going to have open is you're going to have this circle route open on the sideline if they aren't zone dropping. So let me go and make sure I make that clear. So what you're going to be able to do, you're going to be able to throw that ball just like that. Now, hopefully you don't get a bad animation like that. But I do actually want to show you this right side read. So as you can tell, that left side is going to be open. They have to zone drop for that. So let's go and show you this route. So the reason that this is good, for one, don't mind these two spies here. So if I only have to do that just because I get hollered at in practice mode. But even if they have one spy, then I'm just gonna show you what I like to do. I don't want to break it down just yet. I want to actually throw it so you can understand it. So let's go and set up the same exact way that we just had it, like this. And that's why I love it, because it's such a fast setup. All we do is smart route circle and streak triangle, and we're set up. So what I was trying to say is, if you kind of drift this way, you'll move the spies, and then you'll be able to throw that right there. So if they have one spy, then that's kind of how you can do the workaround to that. And as you can tell, what's going to happen is that hook curl is going to widen out, and there's just going to be nobody there, honestly. So we do go ahead and show you right here. So what you're going to notice is that this hook curl, he's actually going to get pulled outwards by this corner route ran by the tight end, and that's going to allow us to throw this ball right here. So if they don't have spies, you can throw this ball right now. So if they take the, let's say this is your user, right? So if the user's right here and he's trying to guard this route because he didn't zone drop right, then we're just going to look right over here and hit this right here. Or if they are zone dropping, then this curl flat defender is going to be up here somewhere at like 15 yards. I might set it at to try to stop it. And then what? We'll just throw this right there. So I do want to show you the second variation of this play. And then after that, we'll go ahead and move on to some different coverages. So just take X, put them on the curl right now. I like this one. I'm not even going to worry about the left side because we already know it's going to be open. I'm actually not going to spy. I just hope I get enough time. So I'm going to show you right here what's going to be open. So you can tell how they kind of drift towards them. And then we'll have that wide open in the middle. And that other hook curl is going to get widened out by that corner route. So you're going to have some really glitchy setups with this. So anyway, let's go into cover 2. So it's going to be the same exact thing with cover 2, except for you're going to have to make a really good read. So what I recommend for cover 2, if they call cover 2, I recommend hitting square or R1. So I'll just kind of show you what I'm talking about. Hopefully I get a little bit of time. You can tell square is going to get open right there. We're able to turn up and get about maybe 5-6 yards, and we will take that. So we're going to have to force them to have to, you know, put a hard flat, cloud flat type of coverage just to even account for what we're doing. So right here, as you can tell, what's also going to get open, we can also have this right here. So like I said, this is actually the was this a spy? Yeah, this was actually a spy. So like I said, if you want to move the spy, all you need to do, of course, is move this way in the pocket, and then this will actually be wide open right here in the middle. And if they're putting him in the middle third, then he's not even going to be nowhere near. And now, as you can tell, also is right here. Sometimes you can actually have this. I personally don't like throwing that because it's a little too sketchy for me. But if you feeling, you know, if you feel like you want to be risky, then I say do it. So let's go back to cover 2, because I do want to show you also with the second variation. Go ahead and put them on a streak, take X, put them on a curl route just like this, and you're gonna notice is that it's gonna get wide open again, boom, right there. And you're just trying to make the user choose. That's all we're doing. So if the user wants to follow that angle route, then we're gonna throw it to the curl. Now, the most important coverage I was saving for last until gameplay is man coverage. So with man coverage, this is gonna happen pretty much all the time, where your best receiver is gonna be, you know, their best corner is going to be on your best receiver. So let's take circle, put them on a smart route. Now, if it's man coverage, what I like to do, I like to take triangle, put them on a slant, and then honestly, I'll probably take X and just put him on a streak just to move him out the way. So now it's going to be a clear read. We're looking for the user. If the user wants to run and take the slant away, then we're going to throw this corner route, because this is a man-beating corner route. But keep in mind, that is G. Alexander, so it might not, and I'm getting hollered at. Y'all see what I be talking about though? But I am going to hop into replay because I don't want to run this over and over again. You'll be able to understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I might run it one more time just so we can hopefully get a win. But anyways, this is actually a man-beating corner route. I'm going to shade up next time to call over the top to simulate what people will do online. But if they don't shade, sometimes they can actually guard it. But you see how he sticks his foot in the ground? That's how you know it's a man-beating corner route. But like I said, that is actually the best corner on this game. So it's going to be hard to consistently get separation, even though it's a man-beating route. It's one of the frustrating things on Madden 21, but that's for another topic. But anyway, what you're going to be able to do is pass lead this right here, and then most of the time you get like a possession catch animation if you throw it down into the sideline. Now right here, as you can tell, if they are trying to press you, a lot of times you can get a win animation and maybe, you know, get a slant wide open, or if this is your second best receiver, he can run away from the defender. That's why I like having my second best right here, and my third receiver I put right here just because we're trying to get that defender out of the way. Now another thing I want you to notice is that this angle route, it can get open, but it's not as glitchy as the other angle routes are. So it's more of a zone beating angle route, but it can actually run away from man if you have a good matchup. So real quick, I'm gonna try to throw that corner route real quick, and then after that we'll get into some gameplay. I'm gonna shade over the top this time, and I'm gonna talk about what to do if they call purples. I just want to show you that corner route does in fact get open, and you're gonna see it get open in the gameplay as well. So I actually messed that up, so I'm gonna put him on an out route. So anyways, go and snap the ball right here, and you can tell, boom, we're able to throw that, and dang, he picked that. But check out this gameplay with me toasting man using that. Now, quickly, what I want to talk about is the second setup to this particular play. So this is for any type of zone coverage. So let's go back to cover 3 right here. Here we go, cover 3. So let's go and press even. Now with this particular setup, all you need to do, you just need to take circle, put them on a curl route, take triangle, put them on a hitch, then take square, put them on a streak. Now what this is going to do, this is going to have to force the user to decide what he wants to do. And also another variation I'll do, I'll take X and put him on a curl route as well, but I'll show you this variation right here. So why this is good is because you're going to see, right, I'm actually going to take the sack on purpose, and then of course you probably already seen what's going to get open. You already seen the concept, but for those of y'all that might not have noticed it, I'm going to quickly hop into replay because I don't want this video being too long. So anyways, what you're going to do is just make a read. So if this is your user, look what he has to decide. Do I want to guard this angle route, or do I want to guard this right here? Because you can tell, well, he might not. He gonna say, do I want to guard this angle route, which he's gonna have to, or we can throw that. But what you can tell also is that we can still throw this. So we can throw this right here on the break if we wanted to. We just have to throw it before that defender drifts on him, just like this. Or what? We can always have this hitch wide open against cover 3. So that's gonna be your reads right there. And then also, if you take X and put him on a curl route, that's gonna pull this defender and it's gonna hold that defender. So this will just literally be screaming wide open. So that's why I said it's gonna really stress the user. So I'm gonna show you that setup real quick. So let's go and set it up real quick. This is what we're looking like right here. Now we are in cover 3. Let's go and press, and now let's go and snap the ball. And what you're gonna notice is what? That we're gonna have R1 literally just screaming wide open right there. I threw it late on purpose, just so I can show you how the defenders will sit down and everything. But just know that you can't throw R1 right on the break. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So you can throw R1 right here. You can throw that if you want. Or you can throw it right here, but you see I was actually getting screamed at right here. You got an instant shed, but that's actually where I was trying to go. But what I wanted you to notice is, look how when he runs right here, he sits and he's gonna pull him this way, and then he's gonna pull this hook curl that way, and that's gonna leave this wide open, or it's gonna leave this wide open right here. And all depends on what the user's doing. So if this is your user right here, then we could just hit this down here. Or if this is your user, we could just look to this side between those two. So we're always going to make the user wrong no matter what we do. So last thing I'll show you against cover 2, then I'm going to show you some gameplay of this setup, because this is just a zone beater. Again, if they run man coverage, do not run this, or you're going to throw a pick more than likely. So I'm actually going to just show you my favorite one. This is honestly my favorite setup with this kind of concept. So let's go and snap the ball and you'll see exactly who's open. You can tell I have circle. I can also have R1 if I wanted it, but I'm actually going to hop into replay really fast. Kind of just quickly show you what it looked like versus cover 2. Then we'll get in gameplay. Then we'll talk about the last play that I wanted to go over. So right here, as you can tell, he's going to get wide open. So as soon as he runs, boom, you can throw that right there, or you can actually throw this right here. Now, since he actually kind of got pressed or whatever, it was a hitch. But what happens sometimes, if they kind of press and do that weird stuff, they're going to kind of sit in the same general area, but it's still okay. Why? Because if this is right here your user, then he still has to decide, okay, do I want to guard this, or do I want to guard the running back? Because you can still throw this, I would just low ball it, or you can wait and throw that right here if you wanted to. So if the user's on this side, then he's going to try to maybe come play this, and then we'll just hit this. So it's all just the options. It all just depends on what the user's doing. Now for the last play I want to go over, which is going to be PA boot. So this is what the play looks like. Now I'm not going to go into zones. I'm only going to talk about man coverage. Now you might be wondering why, and it's because I kind of put out similar offenses already showing how I like to utilize this crosser route into my scheme. So please just make sure you go check out those videos where I have those, and you can apply the same thing here. I just don't want this video being 30 minutes where I'm trying to sit there and explain stuff that's, you know, already works. But anyways, what you want to do, well, what I like to do, I should say, I like to take X, put him on a streak, and I like to take triangle, and I like to put him on a slant. And now I'll either A, smart route my outside receiver's route so it looks like this, or B, I'll leave it stock. So it's all up to you. Now, when do I like this setup? So I like this setup versus man coverage, and I like this versus man with purple. So I should say I like this versus man with deep pass and man with purples. Any man variation, this is fine. Now I'm going to show you with man with purples, and like maybe, you know, this is the user right here. I'm going to try to simulate that the best I can, but the reason I like this is because this square route can actually get over the top. Hopefully I had time. I didn't spy nobody, and I'm going to show y'all why I like spying people, because I know I'm going to get hollered at. As you can tell, boom, I'm just going to get hollered at. But anyways, one of the things that you might realize too is that if you send X on a streak, so be very careful with this setup. So if they're putting purples, don't send X on a streak. Now you might be saying, real why? So what's going to happen is, you'll notice in the gameplay I did too, but it's kind of hard to read. But when you read it, you need to make sure that, so if you notice they're not putting purples, then I'm gonna show you a setup that I really like here in a second. But besides that, even if you do, you still have a 1-2 read. So you still have this slant that you can throw right here. So if they're not zone dropping right, you can throw this ball right here and then possession catch it. So throw it right about here and possession catch that. Or sometimes what you can actually do, you can have this and you can pass lead this up right here. So if they're not dropping their zones right, you can just pass lead that ball up, and then they'll run for it and go get it. So now I want you to pay attention to this post route. So as you can notice, he can actually win. You just want to be able to float it out there. So I would recommend sneaking I would recommend sneaking your second fastest receiver here. So I would probably put Goodwin on the outside if I wanted to utilize this concept versus man coverage. But if they're calling man with purples, now this is the last thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you some gameplay of me running this, and then that'll be the video. So anyways, if I notice they're running man with purples, then what I would do is I'll do a setup like this, and I'll take triangle and I'll put him on a drag route. And now from here, I'll either run it just like this, or I'll smart route square. So I'll show you what it looks like smart route. Now I'm going to shade over the top, because if anybody's calling double purples, they're going to be calling over the top if they're somewhat good. So your read on this play actually would be X, or it'll be triangle. It all depends, because you're going to imagine the user's going to chase circle, because more than likely they're not going to actually guard X. And if you can tell, if you have enough time, sometimes you can outrun them. Now right there I did it, but that's where you'd want to sneak in your second best receiver. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video, and as you can tell in the gameplay, this scheme is honestly really good. Now being real, the only thing that will give you kind of trouble is when they call man coverage. But remember, if they're playing hard man, please make sure you run the ball, because the dive is honestly really great against man coverage. Hopefully I can just show you that real quick. So if they're giving you a look like this and it's just throwing you all the way off and you can't do nothing, or maybe they're putting a spy, or if they're doing some weird stuff like that, then this dive honestly is really good if you have time, because you can tell what's going to happen is those defenders are going to go outwards, and that's going to create that wide open gap. Now I would recommend putting your best lineman at center if that's something that's giving you a problem. So what I mean, that you see how both the safeties shoot outwards, then if your opponent doesn't know how to gap shoot really well, then what you're going to notice is, what you see, this lane right here. So sometimes if, you know, EA actually lets you be great and hit this open hole, or he just holds his block for a second, what you're going to notice is more than likely you're going to be able to take this ball and just run straight. And that's what you've seen in my gameplay with me do, because a lot of people will just try to sit there and just play man with purples and just, you know, hope that they can play. I call it fag D when they do that. But anyways, that's what I like to do with this. I don't want to make this video any more longer. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that, because I did have a little trouble going against man coverage, and that was just because I was trying to pass. So just make sure you do utilize the run plays. The stretch is good and that dive is good. But anyways, let me know how you love the scheme, and let me know, you know, if you like the video or whatever. But anyways, hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.